Oh, guess what?
Hey.
Buonasera a tutti. Good evening. Sorry about that change in scene.
You were actually being serious then.
Yeah.
Just joking.
No, we're on. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to tonight's session. We are Fate's Grip, and this evening is going to be interesting. I cannot wait. Yeah. Travel and Tides is the name of our episode number 33. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll start with... whoa, thank you. Look, I love to hear the sound of my own voice. Start with just a thank you to Mr. Barclays over here for an amazing dinner. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was so much effort. I just take takeaway, but you just go all out. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Yeah, no worries, guys. I'm glad you
Appreciate
enjoyed
it.
it.
That was lovely.
And thanks to my sous chef over here helping me as well.
You missed out.
Everyone can come next time.
Sounds good. So we might start with some other shout outs. We got some pretty cool things happening. I might quickly also mention Twitter. We're up to about 626 followers, which is ridiculous. Again, some amazing people that we've discovered. Other streamers, podcasters, and artists galore. So thank you so much for having us, part of the community. We love it, and that's me. So what else you got?
Sheldon, do you have a YouTube shout out?
Yeah, youtube.com/FatesGrip. Episode 30 will be going live tomorrow, as well as a re-upload of some older episodes for improved quality.
Oh,
Hey!
thank you for the improved quality.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Like
Please
4K,
subscribe.
6K, 8K.
Full HD, 1080p.
Yeah!
Full, all of it.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. What else we got?
I will have a go at a shout out. It's
Please.
an attempt.
Oh, go for it.
No, what? It's like, what are you holding? No, my shout out is to our beloved and wonderful DM, actually.
Aww.
And maybe we have shouted him out before. I'm trying to remember like the last glorious time we did this, but this is to recognize our DM. We come together and we have an excuse to kind of tell stories and be inside his wonderful world building and narrative, and it's a really cool thing that we can do this and drink beers and have fun. So shout out to our DM, but also to other DMs out there. All I can say is appreciate your DM. Give your DM an apple.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chaotic.
And maybe start there and then something better. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Michele!
32 episodes, yeah.
33rd tonight.
33rd tonight,
Yeah. Yep. And hopefully going strong. Hopefully. Hopefully we're all here because we're enjoying
Are
ourselves.
we all here or are two of us paralyzed?
Yeah.
Is it? Are we at 32 episodes, or is this our 32nd?
This is our 33rd.
33rd.
So we've
So-
done 32.
But we've had more sessions than that, right?
No.
No, that's
but we
it.
didn't start recording at the very beginning.
Correct. But in terms of sessions recorded,
Yeah. How many
about
were at?
about 10 or 11
Okay.
or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Feels like it's like been forever now.
I know.
Yeah, we were actually in our mid-teens when we first started.
That's how long I made these guys wait for levels. How are we standing, by the way? Our wonderful audio.
Well, there is like a slight high-pitched noise, I think, which is the air conditioning.
Probably the
Yeah.
aircon.
But if anyone hates it, please don't make us turn it off because it
It's
keeps us
cold
cool.
in here.
It is pretty warm.
We
I
will
like
turn it
that
off if
as
it's
well.
too annoying.
Yeah, please let us know if it is a little bit frustrating.
Oh, it's
What's
been
that?
turned
Oh,
off.
it's off. It's fine. It's had its time now.
It's had its time.
It's decided to turn itself off.
Let's feel how we feel, and then come back and then recoup. If we're feeling a bit.
Comfort
a bit
is not
warm.
important. The stream is.
Lol. No, comfort's number one. Thank you so much again. Much appreciated, Chris. What else we got?
Hey, I have a shout out.
Oh,
It's
do it.
Very
Do it.
surprising.
What's it about, Emily?
First of all, thanks Insidious Risk for subscribing again because I just saw that come through.
Thank you,
Thanks
Insidious
NBC
Risk.
DM for subscribing again, 2 months strong.
Thank you.
Um,
Much appreciated.
So, a couple of different shout outs. These guys are friends of Meeples and Dragons, like always, massive supporters of us. We love them. But today, we received a box in the mail.
The old box.
A
Generic
big
box.
old
Generic round
box.
box. We just
And
received the box.
in
That's
that
it, just a box.
That's it.
In that box was some clickety-clackety, shiny,
Rickety-rackety.
little pretty rocks. We have so many. We have some that are sold out. We have some that are limited edition. We have lots of different ones. This one's pink. And we got some orange ones. And we got these giant ones too.
Titans.
All these
Yeah,
D-
none of my D20s are that big.
So these are the Kraken Titans. So we've received a bunch of different clickety-clackety rocks, courtesy of Kraken Dice.
Thank you, Kraken.
Kraken Dice are someone that we have all fangirled over, just in terms of we love their product. We all at the table use Kraken Dice. I have like 1 million sets. Preston has 1 million sets. We got some semi-precious sets. I love my semi-precious at home.
Oh no.
But yeah, we have a bunch of different sets. So when we got a message from Kraken saying that they wanted to tee something up, we were all pretty excited. Thank you so much, Kraken Dice.
Thank you.
We can't wait to give these away. More details coming soon.
Yeah.
Follow the Twitter at FATES for more information on how you can maybe get a Titan.
Oh, don't you want to get your hands on something so large and amazing like a D20? That's all I'll say. But no, giveaways coming up.
Can I do one more shout out?
Yeah,
Is that
absolutely.
okay?
Absolutely.
I just want to shout out my friend who is in the chat at the moment. Her name is Maddie Heffernan. And I'm sorry, I've never had to say your last name before. Her and I actually grew up in the same town in Melbourne, but we didn't meet until until I was at least in my 20s, and we found out that we went to neighbouring high schools.
Was it Melbourne? Is that the school?
No. I went to a Bayside high school, and she also went to a Bayside high school. And we found out in our 20s that we lived around the corner from each other, which was pretty crazy. She doesn't know anything about D&D, but she has been in this chat every single week. So thank you, Maddie, and thanks for telling your entire family about this D&D stream.
Thank you so much.
I also want to let everyone know that on October 31st, we're going to be dropping a collaborative one-shot. It will be pre-filmed, so it won't be live, featuring myself and Rook. Me as the DM, which is going to be interesting. We might see a guest or two from this table drop in as well. But also with Cosmic Dice podcast. So these guys are awesome. They build terrain. They do all the fun stuff. So yeah, check them out and watch out for our one-shot horror October Halloween themed.
Nice. Very nice. Thank you so much for the shout out. Thank you very much for subbing again, guys. That's ridiculous. Thank you so much. And Kraken, you've been over generous, and we'll can't wait to give these away and have other people enjoy your dice. Cool. Well, are we good? Anything else you'd like to share before we start?
Do we ask Rook and Thulrom to leave the table because they're not here, or?
Yeah, good question. You know what? No. No, you guys will just be on the sidelines literally just for a minute, since you guys are on each side of the table.
Yeah.
And we'll get you guys to stay for a bit until such time as I tell you not. Cool. All right. So, whoa. There we go. Back to there. So, let us bring it in and let's do a little bit of a recap. Now, Thulroms 5, you appeared in the corridor, a place of wonder with doors to other worlds, as was described by Orlix the tavern keeper of the Coggenfresh in the Cogs in Sharn. You traversed and found the byways, an inn and a haven against the unknown beyond. You rested and found the Feywild through one of the doors while exploring, in the elemental plane of water, where a suspicious and trapped storm giant, Gerinthas, asked you to help in freeing her in exchange for her most prized possession, her trident. You delved through a door into a room that was housing a small brain in the center of this cavern, growing on a podium with paths leading to other doors and cages above you which attacked you with beams of magic. This mind flayer called an Alun, guarding the brain, orchestrated the attack, and a ferocious, dangerous enemy was finally defeated, with Rook and Thulrom succumbing to their powers, turning to stone. Amara raced away to get help and found Feriso, one of the 12 Archmages of Arcanix, and a friend to you, in the byways coming over, but soon revealed himself to in fact be Obradin, coming to their rescue. So, Barclays and Gunnar, you both are waiting as Amara dashed outside this door and out of sight, back into the corridor, back to the byways to seek help. Amara, you raced into this room, yelled out a reward of 1,000 gold for anyone who can help you. And here before you, for a moment, joy turned into suspicion as Obradin reveals himself and his face, his true form. So
he looked like Feriso first, right?
he did. And then his face shifts and he's talking to you from just inside the doorway, and you are just outside. And you see to the left and the right of you hundreds of doors going to the right and the left, all closed, no travelers between, and you are facing Obradin. What would you like to do?
Are you gonna help?
You offered money.
Yeah. I'll give it to you, please. Just come and help.
Help with what?
My friends, Rook, Thulrom, they've been petrified.
You see his face close. Just his entire features just tense up for a moment. Well, 1,000 gold for one. Certainly. But then perhaps gold only goes so far. So let us see what else you have to offer.
What do you want?
Well, just know that I should be able to free your friends from this plight. Should, but I need to investigate first. It would be good to see how Gunnar's child's progression has been. Lead the way.
I'm gonna start running back.
He's surprisingly quick and is not far behind you as you rush into the door. Barclays and Gunnar looking over. Amara races in this 5-foot pathway leading to nothingness on either side of you. And you look beyond her to another figure moving in. Feriso, in your sights, his face covered and almost completely cloaked over with this dark blue cloak. Although his form is different, he seems to be shorter, more hunched, and a walking stick by his side.
Feriso! Is that you?
It's Obradin.
What? Obradin?
Yeah, it's Obradin.
Feriso doesn't look good. That's because it's Obradin.
He said he'd help.
Right.
I offered him 1,000 gold. He said that's enough for one.
Oh. 1,000 gold.
Yeah.
Can I have 1,000 gold?
Can you fix them?
Yeah.
Can you do it? What are you doing, Barclays?
I would work it out for 1,000 gold. Look, it's good to see you. Is he going to do it for 1,000 gold? And only just one.
I'm gonna look over at him.
One, yes. We can discuss the other. Who would you like me to, well... And then you both see Feriso's face shift and just the form now of Obradin in your sights.
Thulrom.
Seek him out first, you say?
Yes.
Very well. And he moves over to the still form and stone-like visage of Thulrom. At this point, Gunnar.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
You watch as the hunched over figure moves towards Thorin, but looks at you. Well, I did ask for a gift. I do not want it destroyed. Fetch me the brain.
I thought I already did that.
You tried, but and correct me if I'm wrong, but the tendons, these veins, were
Cut it.
held. You did cut them, yes. So how do you have it at the moment?
I'm just levitating it.
Levitating it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Right in front of you, or a bit away above the receptacle?
I'll hold it over the pit.
Over the pit. Okay.
Yeah.
He sort of holds his hand out to you halfway. He's now close to the still form of Thulrum. He simply holds his hand out first to you, Gunnar.
Fix Thulrum first.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm going to use the big boy. Persuasion. Ooh. That is a 23.
He sort of closes his eyes for a moment. Ooh, love it. Can I ask a favour? Gunnar, can I get you to roll a intelligence saving throw, please? As he closes his eyes, you feel almost instantly this pain at the back of your eyes, just where the forehead meets, as you feel yourself reeling from some sort of definite psionic attack from Obradin.
Oh my god, I thought I had it prepared. Hang on a second. Do I even have it? Yeah, I do. Is this a spell?
It's a spell.
So I will use my reaction
Mm-hmm.
and cast Mental Barrier,
Mm-hmm.
which I can use whenever I'm forced to make an Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma saving throw.
Okay.
So I protect my mind with a wall of looping repetitive thought. Until the start of my next turn, I have advantage on saving throws.
Go for it.
And resistance to psychic damage.
Okay, good to know.
That's cocked. So big it... I'm not going to say the rest of that sentence. Was it 10? Was it intelligence saving throw?
Yes.
Why did you do that one?
Huh?
What'd you get?
Oh, fuck. I'm actually jacked. 18.
18? Okay.
Yeah, my intelligence save is plus 8. I've never had to make one yet.
It's like on a camping trip.
Do you want to do this?
Oh, I need to mark that spell off.
Actually, yeah. So, you still feel this force entering your mind, even though you managed to eradicate a good portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
You still feel this almost a trickle at the back of your throat. It's something sharp gets instinctively swallowed, and you feel yourself almost aware of things around you. So hold that thought. Just be aware that something has affected you, but it doesn't seem to be nothing amiss anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So he puts his hand on the stone form of Thulrum. He looks over to you, Amara, and says, do I have your word?
For the gold? Yes.
No, the deal is for the brain.
Amara made a different deal.
Well, you choose your deal. Do you want the brain or do you want the gold?
Deal or no deal?
I have chosen both, and both is what you shall give me for his salvation. Amara made a pact and gave her word.
I'm gonna start pulling out 1,000 gold.
I can drop it.
It will only be a detriment to you, Char, if you should. And the hand lays on the stone. Thulrom, for a moment, you feel nothing, as though sleep overtook you. And then you slowly open your eyes, but gravel and dust appear over the top. And you sort of blink and blink, and as you do, more and more dust and grit enters your eyes, and you just almost, as you start moving your hand instinctively to move it away, you hear crack, crack, crack all over your arm, and you look down and you see that this rubble is falling from you, and then you take a moment to realize you did experience for a second some sort of shift in your form, but now it seems, looking over, the person who seems to have undone this is Obradin, and you feel yourself stretching out, and you see dust fall. And Thulrom, you are now back living again.
Ah, thank you. Why have you done
I
this?
hand over 1,000 gold.
Ah, jeez. How much was that?
Is it 1,000 gold?
Wow. I'm flattered. Genuinely.
You should give him money.
Yeah, I probably will.
What do you want for Rook?
Thulrom, can you restore Rook?
I'm gonna go over and have a look at Rook.
Okay. As Obradin, his form shifts as you walk over. You walk over to Rook. He is a light granite-looking form, and he seems to be in the middle of some sort of pose, poised to attack whomever was against him.
Do I so I'm gonna say I recognize this. I would, being a cleric of Ado, recognize petrification. Or do you want me to roll Arcana?
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Make it with advantage for me.
Okay.
You should sign language to Barclays what you're doing.
Is one of
Hey.
That's good, because one of them was a one.
I'm having a conflicting moment whether to have some fun in this situation or not. It's quite serious.
Are you saying that as your character out loud?
Yes.
Barclays.
That's a 15.
What's your advice? I'd like to put something in Rook's hand.
Let's see if we can make him better first.
Alright, fine.
Okay. You do, and you're aware that he has the petrification effect on him, because you essentially saw him turn to stone, and you also have a spell that is quite similar. So it sort of does look familiar to you.
DM question.
Please.
I've got a spell, and one of the components is something of a certain value, but in the environment there's something very similar,
Yeah,
of a similar, and enough of it to make up that amount of value.
sure.
What?
Can I have a crack?
If you can harness the materials in some sort of in your hands, if you can pull that material together close to you, absolutely.
So Thulrom's going to go up to the shattered crystal in the middle of the room that was housing the brain. I'm going to collect as much of those chunks into my arms as I can.
Okay. What are the components for the spell? You don't have to mention the spell.
It's 100 GP worth of diamond.
Okay, good to know. So you
That's actually pretty small diamond.
give me a strength check as you do attempt to grab some of these things, but these pieces off the floor and the cracked version, but there is still a fair bit that's actually molded still into this piece, this centerpiece.
Is a 18.
Oh yeah, you smash, you sort of elbow the cracked pieces, and they all just shatter, and you do collect a good portion, the majority, in fact, of this crystal-like material.
Alright, so I'm going to gather it all up in my arms and move over to where Rook is standing and lay it around him in a circle. Rest my hand right on his forehead and grip it, and cast probably the most powerful magic that I have ever cast, Greater Restoration. So you imbue a creature you touch with a positive energy to undo a debilitating effect. You can reduce the target's exhaustion level by 1 or end one of the following effects. One effect that is charmed or petrified the target.
Okay. So, as you lay out the crystal, it takes probably about a minute or so to make this form around him. At that time, Obradin did also come over, and he sort of started to put his hand on the form of Rook, and sort of had a bit of an investigation himself. And you put your hand on him, close your eyes, and you feel this divine energy release from your hand, and you feel yourself flinch for a moment as it is powerful, and you hear this mace next to you in your mind say, "Let Ada rule through you," and you bring that energy towards the stone statue. And you hear a voice next to you in that moment saying, "It's too late. It's too late." Nothing happens. I need everyone but Rook to leave the room now, please.
Oh.
What?
Well, I do have the stream, so.
You're welcome to watch, but I
No.
need everyone to leave the room.
Oh, I'm gonna take
You
it.
know, Rook does need emotional support,
Get out of here.
and the carrying person,
Oh, second camera.
a witness.
Why does no one push their chair in? I say as I have to push my chair in. You don't have to leave the room. You can go in there. What are you doing?
Oh yeah,
Wait, put the couch
Yeah, no,
on
you're
the
fine.
chair.
you're fine.
Come
in. Yeah, absolutely. You get the secrets.
No, come in.
So, hi. Right. So,
Alright.
Rook, the last moment of your knowledge, you looked down and you saw that your hands were turning to stone and then nothing. Your eyes glaze over, and as though this white light takes you. You then feel yourself moving. You travel through some sort of light of a pink and white variety. You feel heavy and falling into light, then dark, as though quickly passing by rooms of different brightness, the flash of blackness, then a flash of light, then a flash of black. And the speed in which you're traveling seems as though it is immense, but no wind rushes past you. But you feel the feeling that you get in your stomach when it's knotted, and you're tensing up as though you are just in a free fall. The surrounding becomes a blur, sending you shifting either up or down now, you're not sure. But the one thing you feel is peace. You do this for what seems to be hours. And suddenly you hear something different. Over the silence, you hear an echo of a stone polishing a sword. This shing, shing, sound. And then you suddenly, from falling and your arms out and your legs out and falling downward, your form takes a different shift, and you're now upright, but floating down now. And looking down, you see, first of all, a ground of shimmering black tile with this very thin sheet of water covering it. As well as that, you see that this floor is shining in the firelight of an enormous circular forge made of this grey stone, so clean it doesn't even have a speck of dust surrounding the area. This large well-like construction, the only thing you can see now in the darkness, but within it there's coal and a huge fire roaring, but you feel no heat, only a mild warmth. The heat seems to be being kept inside the forge, these enormous bellows that are unmoving. They're too large to have even a number of beings shift. Just is a permanent fixture just beyond this large circular forge. You then land, and you take stock of what you see in front of you for a moment. Above the forge, this whetstone, large and circular, is just suspended in midair and polishing an enormous broadsword directly in front of you at your eye level. And you land and you feel the patter of the water below you, warm, on your bare feet. You look down and you're wearing your clothes, but only the bare minimum. You're not wearing any armor or holding any weapons. You feel naked without your bow. But in midair, this thing is being sharpened, and then you look over and you see this form shift. A bronze, large beast, huge, in fact, scales for skin, an enormous tail flipping behind it with a point at the end, these large two horns in a curl behind, laying its large snout and head up inside of its hands or its paws, like this. Apart from this scale, however, you see that this scale is modelled with steel plates that cover a lot of its body. This large dragon is in front of you, and you can see one of its eyes is metalled over. It has this like an eye patch of metal that seems to be open and almost like an eyelid, shutting and opening. His other lazy eye looking up at the creation that's in front of you. And you can also see one more thing that materializes in front of you. You see, standing on their own accords, but still are warforged, 4 of them. And there's a trace of light like a quill, drawing and forming metallic connections with copper and metal wire that's materializing out of the air. And it's making these connections within its body as though it's creating the warforged from scratch. Do you know where you are? This great beast almost whispers, a loud whisper towards you.
Is it a dragon?
Yeah, it's a bronze dragon with these metallic parts for scales. His head lifting slightly off the ground towards you.
I must admit I'm at a loss as to perhaps this situation. The last thing I remember is in combat, and now I'm here. Upon the time I've been travelling, I assume I've fallen. And kind of knowing Draconic, do I know this? What her story is picture of such a thing?
It's funny. For a moment, you don't, and then in an instant, it seems all too clear who is in front of you. It's as though the knowledge was picked out of thin air and you suddenly knew it without needing to recollect. In front of you, there seems to be the depiction of the god Onatar, Onatar.
Am I to understand what his aspect is?
His aspect can be of a dwarf or a dragon, and he is the god in Corvair of dwarves and of the forge and of fire, giving. And you, as you think of this, it all comes back to you as though you knew it all along. This god brought fire and steel and the idea of blacksmithing and forging to mankind and humankind and humanoid kind. And then from there, they worship him. And he is the spark of light of the idea of the creation of Warforged to the gnomes.
I'm to assume you're Onatar.
I am.
I must admit, I feel silly.
But it is I who brought you here.
I've paid little respect to the gods from where I've come from, other than the stories of Victor.
And his maw just moves in almost mirth, and there's a slight grin, and he says, "Yes, you speak of House Orion like a god, though they are simple beings. Why, Rook? Why had you not worshipped before?"
From where I've come, worship's done little for my people, or friends and family. My prayers were only ever for kinship and the ones that I spend my time with. Victor, Agnarak, Herdak, and the rest of Chimera. The sickness that I've seen in the Mournlands, there was no prayer there for them that would save them.
I understand. Do you know where you are?
I think I'm dead, but the whereabouts I'm not certain.
I have plucked you from Araway's grasp. She is the one who would have taken you to the next place, for you to be at peace with yourself. I have asked for you first. You are in my forge, my home. You did not fall, you simply traveled here. I have brought few to gaze upon the first instances of my creations. What do you think?
What do you do for the Warforged then?
I gave them life. I am proud of my work. I am proud of you and things that you have done with them, for them. Should you choose at the end of our discussion, you may leave with a task that I set you, Rook. Or you may go through the door, and this large paw of scaled metallic features points, and you can see now beyond him a simple golden door appearing in existence in a flow of cloud, and now still and closed. Through the door to Araway, and she will be happy to greet you to the next world. The peaceful is through that door. The task and challenges are with me.
I turn and look at the door for quite a few moments and think of friends that I've lost, particularly to the disease on the frontier settlements, and wondering if I'll see their faces there.
As you think that, this form, still lazily lying on his stomach, just moves slightly. These large wings, one of them made completely of metal, and the other one completely of dragon scale, just stretch out. This large form getting larger and shifting in again. Not of aggression, just of movement. And he says, "They are there, and they will be happy to see you. But I ask for your service, Rook of House Orion."
I turn back to Onata. I fear that I have little to ask of you, but take your task. I have friends in Mournland, many more on the outskirts of the Mournlands. I saw something unsettling. Your Warforged, they're sentient, and as they are, some of the most noble and honourable people I've met. Without petty cruelties like some of the humans I've met along my journeys, scavenging for what they can, killing each other just for food. Our friend, the Warforged of the Lord of Blades.
His next eye, his other eye, they both open now and focus on you.
Do you wish him to turn your family into these creatures?
You seek my once champion. Now he is my enemy. You can defeat him with my help. You must promise to defeat him. Swear an oath to me, Onatar, creator of fire, Forge and the Warforged, that you, Rook, will undo my failed creation. This Lord of Blades is a disease upon the world. Now hear this. Agnarok, your companion, did not suffer. The Lord of Blades is a successful creation of a humanoid and a warforged if they were to combine in treacherous experiments. He was the first outside of my grasp of control to transform himself into a half-metal, half-man form, and he did so with Agnarak's help. He is still alive, inside this creature, willingly. You have seen the ways in which he is trying to replicate this feat, capturing innocents, taking their blood essence. Kill the Lord of Blades and set your companion free, and your heart will break in the last, if it is not already so now. Be but at peace, for he commenced a story which has a wicked ending. And his arm reaches around the forge, and floating now above it is a beautiful gold and metal longbow. And it floats towards and in front of you. This is a gift which may very well signal an end to him. If you so choose this task, Rook, take the bow of Onatar, wield it against him, destroy him, destroy that which you used to call a companion.
I guess there's a proudness in the offering that's being given to me in my eyes, but still a bit of a curl in the lip of sadness for Agnarak and what I'm hearing. I look at the bow and I look at Onatar. I feel like our goals are aligned. Victor is in great danger then if what you tell me here is true. And I grab the bow.
You hold it, and as you do, the metal seems to now string away from the bow slightly. There are strings and webs of thin steel that now start to wrap around your wrist and your fist that's holding this. And it goes around up until about the midway up your forearm now, and it completely covers in this lattice of metal. And you watch as the bow, this the string made of this beautiful taut hair of what you can only assume is an angel's wing, and as it glows brightly, this golden metal bow, just a simple curve, a simple crescent around, but in the very center, Onatar's dragon-like face embedded in it, engraved. And this gold and metal loops are around this, the outside. This bow starts to almost meld inward and disappear, and you feel your hand, and you know what's happening. This bow is disappearing into your hand. And then you, with a thought, have it in your hand immediately, and it appears in an instant. And once again, you take hold of it and think, and it goes back to you, into your hand. It disappears. Automatically, you're aware that with this bow, it is a +2 bow.
Yeah.
What it can also do, what it will do for you is you will get a +2 on initiative rolls because of how quickly you're able to, when you attack with the bow first, because of how quickly you can actually summon it.
Okay.
And just call it the Bow of Onatar. So it's +2 to hit and +2 to damage, on top of your normal damage.
Damn, what a correct bow of Instagram. No, Onatar +2 to bow to hit and +2 to damage.
Yeah, and +2 to initiative.
And +2 initiative. Okay.
When you're using the bow. If you take a great axe, it won't.
And I can just. Oof.
It's there.
As all this is happening, I get down on one knee and bow towards Onatar, head low, and say to him, I shall take fealty to you, and with your blessing, see our goals aligned. May your forge fire my heart and bring this honor towards my friends.
As you say that, the forge itself starts to burn brightly, and you can see these licks of flame get higher and higher. It's an unnatural flame because it doesn't seem to stop, just becoming larger and larger, and you can now start to feel the heat going more and more on you, but it's not uncomfortable. It's warm, it's inviting. Yes. This is good. You are the correct choice here. Our paths do cross. Do I take it then that you mean not to meet our way in the next life?
I shall not. I feel it not right. I cannot dishonor Vector.
And you see beyond, the door shimmer shut and disappear in a whirl of gold and white light. Go then. Speak my name to those who would listen. You, champion of Onatar, the Warforged, will turn to you. You do anything else?
I get back up, bow my head. And if I should need guidance,
I will be here now. Continue in my name, and I will not fail to be there.
then a strong ally I hope I can be to you.
And I you, human. And then you look up and you, with a blink, see the cavern you once, just moments before, were turned to stone. And you look around and you see this outside crystals laid out before you in a circle, as though you're the center of attention. You see Thulrom, his hand retracting and doubtful. You see next to him Obradin, and you look down and you look at your hand, which feels slightly heavier, and you see that your hand is yours, this flesh, but you see this sheen like a reflection of metal. And you know that what you saw was true.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to get everyone else in. I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, come in. Oh, there we go. Nearly hit it again. Whew.
He doesn't.
Do you know what?
But he wanted to know how to
We
string
need to
it.
contract you
So I started
for
doing
how
the
many
string.
minutes you're allowed to spend.
That's true.
Talking to one person.
That's true.
Oh no, we've lost a line.
Was that the same colour? Now it's
Oh
different.
no.
All right. So,
Oh no.
What happened, guys?
Ada's light went out.
Ado's lights.
Oh, no one put any spoilers in the chat. I was counting on
oh, thank you for no spoilers.
that. NBC DM.
Spoil me, daddy.
My beer's warm.
I'm so sorry.
You should have taken it with you.
That's right. So, you all watch as Thulrom, your spell did not seem to make any effect, and you heard beside you Obradin saying, "It is too late."
Nothing happened. Nothing has happened at all. What's going on?
And then,
Why is it too late?
as Obradin starts to speak, he says, "This was more than just petrification. He has died." You then suddenly hear this as dust and stone shatter, and Rook starts to move. And Rook, you will awaken and you see your friends around you.
I'm coughing and spluttering as I'm getting the taste of the dust of the petrification out of
That's
my mouth.
not funny. That's not. Why would you say that?
Make an insight check.
I knew that would work.
I'm confused. He's here, but he's dead.
How good are you dice? Thank you for blowing my dice before.
As you say that, Rook seems to be shaking off what seems to be remnants of stone and granite all over its body, and just coughing and rubbing his eyes. He's there. What'd you roll?
25.
25. Looking at Obradin, he genuinely seems surprised. His eyes are wide as he looks towards Rook, not taking his eyes off him. But that... I don't understand.
The power of Ado is mighty.
It's not for you to understand, Obradin.
Seems like $500 back. That's what that sounds like.
What? What's dollars?
Gold. Oops.
Well, I did say 1,000 for Thorum, and I received my due charge.
Wait. Why are you taking the face of Feriso?
I have people here that need to see him, and so I become him. It is simple transactional. Simply transactional. It is not something you need to be concerned about.
I am concerned. He's a good person. You shouldn't do that.
I will take note. Thank you.
Are you representing him? Or misrepresenting him?
I will say I am simply doing what needs to be done, and if that means that, let's just put it this way, I'm not damaging Feriso's reputation.
Okay. Well, how is everyone? And, oh, actually, we've got some things to do from here, but where are we supposed to be going next? Then I look from Gunnar back to Obradin.
Obradin speaks, he says, well, that is up to you all. The corridor is vast. I have one more thing that you perhaps would find useful. A way back. Back to Corvair. And no longer need to traverse these halls. If you so wish.
I'm in everyone's mind. Even Thulroms. I'm gonna say we have to go back to the Storm Giant.
Yes. Can I respond back to Amara?
I haven't given you that.
That's a bit... Anyway.
You can
Isn't
use
that
your...
convenient? So I'm standing there, like she's talking to me, I'm like,
What's this way back to Corvair?
There is another door that I am aware of that will lead back. One of the only doors within probably about a 3-week journey. You can take 3 weeks and go through doors at your own discretion and curiosity and find Corvair again. But I've got somewhere a bit closer.
whilst he's like talking there, I've gone over to the body of the
this large skeletal.
line. What do we call this thing?
Looking at it, okay. You are going back to the Haloon.
Yes.
Okay.
And off with his head.
All right.
Doesn't?
No, I blew it.
Yo, you please head off. Off with his... What's left?
Lower jaw.
You can make an investigation check.
I'd like to make an investigation check on what's left.
While this is happening, I'm gonna look at Rook and say, "Are you feeling okay?"
Am I feeling
You,
That's not what happens.
you feel like you.
Yeah.
You feel a bit hurt. You got a bit sore, but otherwise
Does
okay.
he feel a bit stiff?
Huh?
Ah.
That's I feel rusted. My joints are sore. But other than that, I feel perfectly fine.
He said you were dead.
Well,
Do you feel a bit crusty?
no longer.
A little bit dusty?
Ask him, do a simple medical check on him. Make sure he's okay. How many fingers am I holding up?
3,
4.
What about now?
Yes, I see that one.
Alright, good. Your sense of humour is still there.
So what will you do? What do you roll for your investigation?
Oh, that would be a 17.
17. Okay. Looking at this creature, you see that some of the, or just one, intact tentacle that seems to emanate from its mouth, or what was his mouth, is still there, flopping once, like a dead fish, and just laying there. You see as well that he seems to carry what looks to be a very small mirror with gold on the outside. You also see, so apart from this gold mirror is probably only about yay big, and it would fit in the palm of your hand. He also carried what looks to be small gold bars, 3 of them, 3 small gold bars. Again, probably only a small rectangle the size of a couple of fingers. So 3 of those, and that's it.
I pull out a cloth and gather these things. I then also pull out one of my blades and surgically remove that tentacle with the utmost precision. Whilst mumbling, wow, gonna do a good job of this guy.
Please take a drink if you have one.
I don't have a drink. Oh no! Oh, I'll do one after the break. I know, right?
We don't take good care of that DM.
No, we should.
No. I requested no drink. It's all good. But no, I will do that. I'll take a bite of this. Is that all right? So what else are you doing?
Well, so I've got those things now on like a bit of material, like a handkerchief type thing, like roll them up, surgically remove that tentacle as well, and I've put them back together.
Okay.
And then I'll put them in on my persons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, will you aid? Not aid. Will you simply follow if I take you to Corvair again?
Again. Now.
If you so choose to leave. Think of it as a favor from me to you. I will get you out of here and you can go on your own again, and perhaps, Char, we can resume our experiments, tests.
We should.
Better, a bit later.
We should visit our friend.
We should visit her.
Wait, you're gonna let me leave?
Let's
Well.
not tell Obradin what we're doing.
Visit her.
What do you say? Sorry, I missed it.
Yes, you can leave.
Why did you want me to come here then if you're gonna let me leave?
Tell me, before we go, what psionic powers that we have discussed were in this room, were used from the schools of psionic magic.
Can I, is there a check that I can make?
You
Help me
can
with
make an
this?
intelligence check for me.
Not good. It's a 9.
A 9, okay. You remember that the types, there are some, you don't remember all the names of the types of psionic schools,
Yeah.
but you are aware that you recall at least 2 schools of psionic energy were used in the battle and with this creature. Telepathy, and psychoportation, which is the moving moving of an object or another creature through space, essentially. So you recall those 2, the names of those 2, telepathy and psychoportation. You recall that there's another one that was used here, but you just can't remember the name of it.
Well, there was telepathy and there was psychoportation. That's it.
Disappointing again. Perhaps Perhaps if you, while you follow.
Someone asked about it, so I just flashed Michele. Sorry.
Nice.
You don't have to pull that bad.
Perhaps if you take a wander with me and we go back to Corvair on the way, I can discuss perhaps a little bit more about why you're here, why we're here.
And what do you want with this brain?
It was for you. I simply wanted to give it to you as a gift, to study, to perhaps, hopefully, unlock some of these other little powers that are inside of you.
How do I study it?
Well, take some time. Look at it.
Okay.
Close your eyes and see if you can sense psionic energies that resonate from it. Perhaps you can learn something about its power. It's a bit like you, actually. A child that seems to simply want to grow and know more. But perhaps its intentions are not as good.
Is it dead?
By far, no. It'd take more than that to kill this thing.
Okay. Well,
Well,
does it need to
are we
eat?
hearing this conversation?
Yeah, you are.
Does it need to eat?
It does not.
Oh.
You can travel with it.
Did you know who this abomination was?
An associate of mine.
An associate or a student?
Associate. I've asked favors of it, and it had asked favors of me in my time. We've collaborated.
And
So-
you're not worried that we killed it?
Its usefulness was at an end. I am not too concerned.
So a mutually beneficial arrangement.
It was, in
Yes.
fact.
So mutual that it decided to be a brain instead of body and brain.
Not the brain. The brain is simply a prize. I'm talking about the Aloon.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yes, he was powerful.
Not that powerful.
What are you interested in the brain then? The Aloons seem to be quite protective of it as well.
Well, if you know much about the Illithid society, you would know that once it was grown, it would overtake the minds of these creatures and act as its lord. Give it commands.
Yes. And what if the brain had been destroyed?
Not easily destroyed, but if it had, I feel like we would have missed out on some of Gunner's potential chars, potential powers being revealed.
Or corrupted?
I doubt it.
You make a massive point of continuously calling him Gunner and then correcting yourself to Char. Is your memory really that bad?
It's simply to make you all a bit more comfortable, you stragglers that seem to move with us and annoy my particular design for Char.
And Gunnar or Shah,
Yes?
would it be prying if I asked Obradin who Gunnar was?
Oh,
No? You can ask him.
I am listening attentively
That's
and
okay.
doing a two-step under the table right now.
No, you've got to dance.
I can just like stand here and look,
Dance.
dance.
Do a floss.
Fuck.
Nice.
That was it.
That's good.
There's not much room here.
Do a floss.
Very
Perfect.
It's actually really hard to do sitting down.
You see,
This is a dangerous redemption.
that was lots of fun.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for viewing.
Barclays.
Well, shall we depart from this place of death and go
And dancing.
towards
question.
Corvair again?
Can
And
you give us 5 minutes?
Do you have a question?
shall I wait outside?
No, we'll wait outside.
Fair enough. I will stay here. You will call me when you are ready.
I just needed to check something. So you're suggesting that if we take pieces of the Aloon, this is a good thing?
No, he's talking about the brain.
It's the brain.
Yes, he wanted me to have the brain. The Aloon with the
This mind flayer creature, not the brain, but this mind flayer creature was my
Who was the
associate.
associate? The mind flayer.
That's correct.
Right.
this brain was growing and
Right.
being taken care of by my associate,
Uh-huh.
and now it is Charles.
Just discussing
Hand-me-down brain.
Just discussing the mind flayers, the brain, growing a brain, its seeming attachment to the brain. Do I know any more about this relationship?
You can try and recollect. Make another Arcana check, please.
While he's doing that, can I do a medicine check on Rook?
Sure.
I want to see if he's got a pulse.
Sure.
What are you doing? This is a kid-friendly stream.
Oh, pleasure.
It is? I roll a 19.
A 19. Okay. You
That was psionic enhanced.
Okay, good to know. Yes, this creature, this brain is known to be called by scholars an elder brain.
But it was young.
Yes, they do
A young elder brain.
need to be cared for and created by other elder brains simply by psionic thought, with powerful bindings of them. But using this, it sustains itself by devouring brains of other creatures. It becomes the lord of mind flayers eventually, and lords over them. It does have it's a central communication hub for the entire mind flayer colony that's in the area. So
CPU?
everything is linked to it. What's that?
Did CPU?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit like that. Anything else in particular you wanted to know about it?
Does it have any abilities of its own, or does it sort of just function as like a
You do know
Server
that
rack.
it can be an enemy, a powerful enemy, or a powerful creature in its own right, and it stays where it is. It doesn't physically attack anything as far as you're aware, but it does use powerful psionic powers to extend its thoughts and overtake people's minds
Okay.
in the area.
So as long as I don't feed it, it can't grow any more powerful?
You're not sure about what the term feeding it seems like, though. Apart from this, that the elder brains in its largest forms, in its fully formed type, would feed on creatures, but you don't know whether this is the same for a growing elder brain.
This conversation out loud still.
No, this
This is me giving Gunnar the recollection of an Arcana check.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Is the brain still floating out, or you?
I'm holding it like telepathically, telekinetically.
Has it been affected by the worms?
They have in the cages.
Yeah, the worms that were all on top of it.
Oh, the worms. You still don't know. You didn't see the worms do much apart from just entering this receptacle.
Yeah.
So you don't see them anyway.
Yeah.
Is it dangerous?
It can be.
Can it grow on its own, or do I have to feed it?
You will need to feed it, but I'm not intending for you to make it grow. I'm simply intending.
No, but I don't want it to grow. Is my point. I don't want it to get any stronger.
Well,
I
then
just
do nothing to it.
can I put it in a jar or something, or will that also help it?
No, it will not. It will simply sustain it, but it will not grow any more in this jar.
Can I talk to it?
You're going to try, but it is quite unintelligent at this point.
Maybe food for kids.
Oh, we need to find a copy of How to
Maybe-
Look After Your Elder Brain.
We're wasting time. Let's go and speak to our friend.
Yes.
Okay.
That is the truth.
I just wanted to know whether this was bad. I don't know if we should carry it. If it's this thing is potentially a leader of mind flayers.
We
I'm
should
gonna-
probably destroy it.
Yeah, let's toss it down here, and I gesture towards the unending chasm.
But is this part of my test, or is just something that you want me to learn?
Well, my intention was for you to study it and possibly gain its powers that it can have. Absorb some things that it might already know.
How do I do that?
Concentrate on it. And
Okay.
study it.
Maybe you guys can just keep a close eye on me and make sure that nothing bad is happening. And as soon as something bad happens, you guys can you can take it off me and destroy it.
Well, what about you?
What about me?
What if something bad happens to you?
Well, you guys will stop it.
Yes, but what if you turn bad?
Well, you'll stop me.
If we see these things growing out of your face, what do we do?
I guess kill me?
Is that what happens? If you become like part of this fraternity, you grow tentacle beard?
You can certainly make an Arcana check to find out if you've read anything regarding that.
Well, you know what? Fate doesn't want me to know.
It's like it's gripping you and telling you no.
Oh my god.
Oh, by the way, I made previously I made a 17 for checking this guy out.
He seems a little bit hurt, but there's a pulse.
Yeah? Like, how's his pulse?
It's normal. He is alive and well.
It's beating like an
Okay,
egg.
so what are you doing?
Double checking that you're all there.
I'm
all
here.
of you are there.
It's-
and
The pulse is a little bit quicker
Yeah.
than your usual,
Yeah.
but apart from that,
Make love to me.
there is one thing. There is
remember who I am.
there is one thing you notice though with that roll.
Yeah.
Down on the wrist here, where the pulse is, there seems to be in the flesh a sheen, like a silver reflection on his hand that seems to come and go in whatever light is left in this cavern as he sort of moves his hand slightly. It just seems to be some sort of blue silver, something underneath the skin.
Have I seen a come and go sheen like that before?
No,
Hey,
it's just weird. It's like a fish scales.
have you looked at your wrist, my friend?
You saying it out then?
To you, yeah. Because I'm doing the check on you.
Okay, so now's not the time.
Alright, but you need to tell me about this funky new trick
Not
you
from
got.
Obradin.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey.
Are we ready to go now?
Let's go see our friend.
I'm ready to go.
I'll wait here then.
Obradin.
No, you're taking us.
No, we have to go and see our friend.
We know it's
I messaged. I told you already.
It's
I'm-
3
I'm-
doors down.
I missed. Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay. Yep. Sorry, I completely forgot. Let's go.
Wait. Obradin, we're gonna see you later, I think.
Maybe we could meet you back at the tavern place. What's it called?
Outside the town.
Outside.
Yeah, that thing.
Or
But you can
inside.
go inside. We'll just open the door and call you out.
I'll be there.
If you look like Feriso, I won't be thrilled.
I will look like me again. So hard to please you all. And
Yes.
he turns and he starts to walk out.
I will look at Thulrum, and I will look at Rook, and I will look like I'm a little frustrated, but I will also look like a soft gal. And I will say, if you could not die again, that would be really helpful. Or like freeze.
She's crying.
Oh.
We should probably get some diamonds.
Yes, we really should start carrying some diamonds around.
I spent most of my money on.
I have some money.
Yes. Speaking of which, I'm gonna hand over 1,000 gold to Amara.
But you
What's this for?
My life.
No, don't be silly.
oh,
It's
you
fine.
just added 1,000 gold. Well, he's taking it off, so you better take it. Otherwise, it's gonna
No.
fall down the pit.
Don't
I
worry.
insist.
Don't worry about it.
It's too late. He's already taken it out of
All I
his D&D
ask-
Beyond account.
I'll hold this gold in trust. Wisely, and it shall make even more money as time goes on.
No, I pull my gold back away from Barclays.
All I ask is that if I am in a similar situation, that you help me out.
All right. tuck my gold away.
And also,
He probably won't, but
also don't breathe fire at me again.
Okay.
I put my hand on Mara's shoulder and say, "Thank you for your concern, but I don't see myself parting ways with to the afterlife anytime soon.
No,
You
it's,
might not have a choice.
Perhaps."
I look suspiciously at Rook still.
okay, let's go talk to our friend.
And let's wander on over.
yeah.
I just wander on out. I don't know why. I said
Wait a minute,
let's.
before we leave, just one last thing. Did I see Barclays inspecting the skeleton?
Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly run over and take another look at it quickly.
Now, when you say skeleton, are you talking about the large skull that was hanging around?
Yeah.
He wasn't looking at that. No, he was looking at the Alloon.
No, but he did discover it in the last session, didn't he?
Yeah, he discovered that.
Yeah.
So,
So
you head back over. Yep. It's just on its side. You see one of the sides of where the cheek would be just broken, leaning on the floor. It's sort of side on, and this large gap where a single eye would be, just a gaping hole. This almost studded skull with these small bone spikes all over and around the head.
What are its teeth like?
Sharp and all there, and 100 of them. It's just jagged and just so many.
Are they conical or are they serrated?
Serrated.
Fuck. I'll quickly take out the steel dagger that I have and just like try and chip one off.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Wait a minute. On the way back, we're going to be meeting back up with Obradin, or?
I have 2 nice long rests.
That is a 17.
Yeah, you do damage. You do hit it. Do some damage with the dagger.
3.
3. That's enough. You snap this at the very, very top of this tooth, this large serrated tooth, and it cracks and falls and clangs onto this pavement and nearly falls down the abyss, but doesn't. And you mage hand?
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, I think I'm still holding that
You are.
one, so I can't do that. I'll just very carefully pick it up.
Yep.
And place it in my backpack.
Okay. It's hollow, but it's still pretty heavy for your size, and you put it down. So write it in.
What am I writing in?
Serrated
Tooth.
tooth.
Okay. And can we? I just wanted to get that because I wanted to know what that thing was. But can we get a jar or something for this? I don't want to hold it forever. Do you guys have one?
I mean,
Do you guys have a jar?
I don't have a jar.
I don't think we should touch it at all with our hands.
Can I ask a DM question?
Sure.
Would an alchemist supply be a jar fit for...
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Tight fit.
Yep.
You know, and they have this and reached on my satchel and...
Is that like a pickle jar?
It is. It's got a large cork for a lid, and it's got this waterproof, what looks to be waterproof material that wraps around that with an elastic band to hold it in.
Can you open it for me? Gunk. And I'll put the brain in.
It just
I hand you the jar.
slips in there and
Thanks.
sinks to the bottom.
Put it in my bag.
All right.
Brain.
I'm gonna make my way back to our friend, the Storm Giant's room.
Okay. Are you all following?
Yeah.
Pursue.
Yep. You all walk out, leaving Obradin to follow behind to meet you at the byways. And he disappears away from your vision as you start making your way over to Gerenthas again. So, the corridors are bare, empty. As you're walking back, however, you do notice that on one of the doors to the left, heading back to the Storm Giant's cage, there is another door that seems to be slightly ajar on the left-hand side. And then beyond that, another slightly open. Can't really see anything through it, but they don't seem to be slowly closing at this point. Which would tell you, using with your knowledge, that someone has moved in or out of one of those doors, or both of these doors recently. Are you doing anything on this, or are you going to continue on?
I continue on.
Yeah.
Well, so, is there any signs like on the ground or anything like that, or like material?
Shady
left the room?
figure.
Yeah. I was like, someone's calling card.
You can make another investigation check if you like. Depending on how closely you want to look, or if you just want to glance at it.
I think it's strange that there's an open door. Yeah, like, we do the opening of the doors. You know?
Make an investigation check then. Seems proper.
I'll pass the check.
That's always
Everyone
interesting.
straighten themselves
Thank
out.
you.
Did you say that it looks like they're closing?
No, they're not.
Ah.
Straighten yourself out. Sit up straight.
Oh, thanks. Needed that. Let's go with an 8.
What's in there, Bradley? What's in there?
Looking at one of the doors, you don't see anything of worth, and through the door, there just seems to be blackness, just a inky black beyond.
Yeah.
The door, the other one over, you notice that there are what look to be small copper blocks directly through the door, and then beyond it, copper blocks, about yay big, all cubes, and they just seem to go on forever in an extremely orderly shape, in extremely orderly, I guess, path in front of you.
I quickly just processed in my mind whether or not I've needed copper blocks in the past, and if I needed an abundance of copper blocks, that this would probably be the best place to come and get it from. And then I just reach and pull the door shut.
Good. Yep. And
Yeah.
the door shuts.
Yeah, and keep going.
All right. You all end up back at the door in which you remember.
I'm going to politely knock before we enter. And after I knock, I'm going to then push it open.
Okay.
Liquid full of
As you as you slowly open the door, you see a familiar sight. The wall of wavy, sea foamy water in front of you. Starfish, this large cavern.
Did you ask if she was decent?
And as well as that, this storm giant, Gerinthas, this water of a dress surrounding her in like a whirlpool, hiding her delicates. And she seems to be
Underwear.
writing in her book once more. And she sort of glances up this paler, large face and this long golden hair.
If they're going in, I'm definitely the last person to go in again.
All right.
It went so well for you.
And I'm
first
like
time.
prodding it with this time with my sword. I'm like, I'm keen to come in this room. You gotta let me know if it's okay.
It is fine. It is fine.
I'm going to go for the opposite approach. I'm going to get a little bit of a run up and dive into it.
Phew, you all watch as Thulrom just pushes you all aside and just leaps in. Make a performance check for me.
Whoa.
This is not one I have to do very often. That's a 10.
A 10? Okay. Look, you do it pretty well, although at the very foot of the door, your shoulder slightly hits the side frame, and you sort of almost twist as you do a beautiful, I guess, flip on your back, and you go in a bit of a twirl into the water. It actually looks pretty impressive, but you feel that shoulder pain. You sort of hide it with a flourish.
Ow.
I wouldn't even do that. I'm like, that's a bit of bullshit. Water's biased.
And the bubble appears around you instantly, Thulrom, and you can walk normally after you do not get wet at all. and you now are just walking through.
I turn to Barclays and say, I feel like the only one here that's changed is you. Barclays wouldn't whimper at such a thing, and I push him in.
A bubble appears around you. You immediately, Barclays, even as you sort of stutter in, it wasn't a hugely violent push, but you see that bubble, and you are safe.
I would like to, after watching Thulrom's little performance, I would like to go all monk, and I want to do like some flips and shit through the door.
All right. You can either choose an acrobatics
You're gonna
or
shoot
a
through the
performance check. Up to you.
Okay.
Which one are you choosing?
All right. Let me check.
You can't add them together.
Oh fuck! No. That I got it. I just didn't. I didn't even look at my modifier. I'm gonna use acrobatics.
Yeah.
Oh, monk! It's a nat 1 for a total of 4.
Beautiful. So
Fuck!
as you all watch, Amara just takes a leap. She does a cartwheel. She does a cartwheel, and then she does a backflip. But as she does the backflip, she's so close to the wall that she doesn't see that the top of the door is lower than her feet, and her feet going backwards. She leaps backwards, and her feet hit the door, and then she goes, flips 180 degrees, and upside down. You hit the water, and in a moment, the water around you filled your lungs. The Garen Thas just unexpected as to what just happened, and your feet are in pain. Just from the force of it, and you see the bubble around you instantly, saving you from a gulp of another bit of water.
I am visibly frustrated.
You flail and land heavily onto the bottom of this bubble, not taking damage, but reputation hurt.
Yeah, so water is treacherous here. Blame the water.
Oh, that was... Barclays, don't trip me like that.
I'm going to
Very
turn
well.
to the storm giant and say, "You are free. Why do you remain here?"
She chuckles. Because I am thankful. I felt it. As soon as it was defeated, as soon as it was felled, I felt this shackles along my wrists and feet disappear. I have already traversed far and taken in the wonders of my home. Thank you.
Yeah,
I thank you.
It's true. He blew his head off.
I would otherwise be impressed, but I am overwhelmed. Not by the violence of it, but simply by such a small thing like you could fell such a creature. Thank you, sincerely. Now, to your prize. Because this, and she reaches over and she grabs this large trident, having these barnacles and a starfish wrapped around it of this light fluorescent blue. These 3 spikes at the end. A simple looking weapon, but deadly in its make. She sort of lets go of it. And as it does, it floats without a bubble necessary, but the rushing of the water and the waves don't seem to take this with it. It simply floats over, and as it does, the form shifts as it becomes slightly smaller, and it floats in the water towards the closest, which is actually you, Thulrom. And it lands in the bubble and still just floats in front of you, doesn't clatter onto the ground. She says, "Take this in your fight. Use it wisely. It has limited power outside of the water elemental plane, but it is powerful. Use it at the right time, when it is most needed. When that is up to you." And she closes her eyes and holds her large hand out. And Thulrom, in your mind, you feel a rush as you see before you what it is behind the subtle metals and make of the materials. This Trident of Storms you can put in if you want to. This thing will do a few effects. The first thing you can call upon it, or anyone can call upon it, is a lightning strike. Any creature within 500 feet of this trident can potentially get hit with this lightning strike.
What?
If it hits using your normal either spell attack, like to roll, it can do 12d8 lightning damage.
Holy smokes. Sorry.
12d8.
Yeah. The second effect, and the only other effect that it has, is within 20 feet around you, around anyone who wields it, calling upon a gust and a rushing of wind and water that will push back any enemies that are within that area of you a good 30 feet away.
Hell yeah.
How many times you can use these, that is something that you're not sure of. But it doesn't do these two things simultaneously. You can choose to do one or the other, and it will take an action to do each.
And anyone can use this thing. What happens if you're a non-spellcaster? What would you use instead of your spell?
ranged attack.
Okay. So I'm going to pick it up and look at it. I'm going to say, this is sort of like a staff, I guess. I'm going to throw it to Amara.
Me?
Yeah. Yeah, consider it good karma for saving my life.
I can try to use it.
It's a staff,
Not
yeah?
powerful enough.
A trident is... Let me just actually double check this.
I don't know if I'm proficient in using this.
I will let you know in very, very
It's staff-like.
good speed in just a moment.
Yeah, but I can only use certain things.
Well, actually, let's see if we can make it. Ask the giant if we can make it so it suits my colleague here.
That's it. Its shape can be changed, can it not?
The power that is within it bounds its form. It cannot be changed from a trident. Just give me a moment. Amaro, as you take hold of it, you know that you can actually use this for its magical effects. If you're wanting to use, if you want to actually fight with it, that's what I want to check for you.
If it's not a simple weapon or a short sword, then no.
All right, I've got it here. Hold on.
Is there a way you can use all your incredible magical abilities to help my friend here use this trident?
It's a melee. It's a martial weapon. It's not simple. It's a martial weapon. Considered.
Thulrom, that's really nice of you, but I don't think I'm the best person to use it. However, maybe we should give it to the person that almost died. I don't think you're very good at fighting up close, are you? Maybe this will help.
It's a martial weapon. I could make use of this, but
If you're ever stuck in a situation where you can't get away from something, it might be a good way to protect yourself. I've only seen you use, like, bow and stuff.
Everyone knows 3 points is better than 1.
What?
well, the other effect was a push, wasn't it?
Pardon?
The other effect was a push, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Anyone can wield it. It's more a matter of
Who's best?
I guess who you are interested in giving it to. But anyone can wield the magical effect.
What can I say here?
Please, if anyone feels like they will use this, they will be in better hands.
Why?
No, I already wield much of its magics.
All I say is we commit to remembering what this stuff does.
Yes.
Yes?
I
All right.
Someone
we all
here-
put our hands in the middle like,
Someone
remember!
I can repeat what I just said if
No,
you'd like.
that's fine. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Might I say, the spells that are on this would not suit Gunnar?
Gunnar doesn't fight up close at all. He's a spellcaster.
And it's a martial weapon.
This trident is like 3 times bigger than him.
You just, well, the tridents are fashionable.
Yes, sir. Put it
can fit it.
What do you want me to put in my inventory?
Inventory would be fine.
Just to try. Yep. And then choose.
Trident of the storm.
Actually, can we just time out just for a moment? I just want to mention this quickly in the chat. So, is it Voikiban?
Yeah.
Who threw down the challenge to get the trident to begin with?
NVCDM.
Yeah.
Was it
CDM, yes.
Oh, I thought it was.
We already showed.
Shout out, we got it.
Oh, we did. Sorry.
Okay, so
Confused.
far behind.
That's all right.
I'm sure. I swear, like anyway.
Yeah. Thorum's going to turn and say, such a powerful weapon should have a name, though, Rook. Something.
Sword?
No, that's what they're all called. That one in particular.
Rook's Fisher's Fork.
The guy just died. Leave him alone.
I think you should call it the Hokey Pokey.
I think he's fine.
You should call it the Hokey Pokey.
I'll name it.
You can think about it if you want to.
Oh, I'll have a think about
While he's thinking about it, I'm
Well,
gonna
just
pull
write
out,
down my idea because that was a good one.
pull out my little package from the previous room and lay them out.
Hey, did you also write down my idea for the name for your bar, for your tavern?
Yes, it's like 4 pages back.
Okay, just asking.
But yeah, I'm gonna show our friend. I can't remember
Garanthas.
Garanthas.
Geralt.
Yes.
Rivia.
So we brought these as acknowledgement that we killed your friend, but evidently you already know this.
What?
What are these things?
What?
And so you're holding out what?
So I'm holding out the tentacle,
Oh my
gold
God.
bars, and what was the other thing I picked up?
Was it a mirror?
Mirror, yes.
Okay.
Oh my god.
She looks down
So what are you doing, man? Come on, just go. Barclays, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are they?
She looks down at the gold bars and she
Yeah.
simply states, these simply look like some sort of currency. Corvarians use gold coins, some others use gold bars. Gold bars are more valuable.
I grabbed the gold bars. Mara, can you catch?
I can try.
Actually, she probably should roll for this.
Wait,
after
stop.
her
Don't
going
throw
in.
it through the water. You did this before and it didn't work.
No, let's try.
That's a gold bar. It's worth a lot of money.
We're in the water. Where's it gonna go?
Somewhere else?
I'm up for the challenge. Let's go.
I don't like this.
I throw one gold bar. See what happens.
Make a dexterity check.
Is it the same as deflect missiles and I just automatically catch it?
No, it'll still be a dexterity check.
But is he not throwing at it? No, I'm joking. Okay, let's go. Hey! 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 That's a 22.
Calamity redeemed hydrate. I
I've
have
already
no
taken
water
it.
left.
I swear I'll get drinks
I'm sorry.
in the break.
22.
22? Yeah, you catch it straight away.
See? Okay.
Excellent. Then I'm like,
Is that 2 more?
yeah, that's the rest of the bars.
2 more dexterity checks, please.
2.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Natural 20.
Hey.
Oh!
They both
And
work.
somehow
Nice.
these gold bars
Yeah,
went
good.
up in value as they traveled through the air based on that natural 20.
I would like to show the Kraken on my brand new dice.
Fine looking crack.
Beautiful Kraken.
Say
This
Kraken
dice
again.
is called Gloquarium, and you can find it on
Looks like a
Kraken Dice.
Say Kraken again.
Crack. And
How much? What are those gold bars worth? Just out of curiosity.
yeah, they mine now.
1,000, 2,000.
8,000.
you give a looking at them, you would imagine they would be around about 150 gold pieces each.
Oh, good. There you go.
How many do you have?
3. It was 3, wasn't
I
it?
have 3.
Yeah. Okay. Now Amara's got those, and then it's the mirror.
Mirror.
I didn't know. I haven't put the mirror to you.
She looks at it for a moment and it's some sort of divination mirror. Divine power has been used here. She takes a moment and closes her eyes and puts her hand on it. This has limited use as well. However, if you look within it, you will see your future self, and you may ask it a question,
I know what
and
you
it
say.
will answer
Do
you
I have
truthfully.
that
Have you heard of me? How far into the future?
It is.
8 far.
It is not specific of a magic. Perhaps it is because if you look into it, the reflection will be of a time that is important.
Can I try it?
You
It
should
is-
be careful. These things are very rarely clear.
Can I try it?
It is
Are you
all.
asking me? Are you asking me?
Yeah, whispering to you.
Is that the boy? He wants it.
It is of limited use. Use it wisely
How
and
many times can we
carefully.
use it?
It does not shed light on such a fact.
Do you think like all of us could use it once?
I know not.
Can I try it?
Do we all hear what she's saying?
Yep.
then? Yep. Okay. Interesting. Gunner. You now married.
Make it a good question.
I rub my face on it. I'm just kidding. What do I see when I look in the mirror?
As you look into it, are you, as you hold the mirror, you automatically feel as though you're pushed towards it. Are you using its spell effect?
Do I see anything yet?
Are you using its spell effect?
Not yet.
Nothing yet.
There's nothing in the mirror, not even my reflection.
Nothing. It is bare. It's as though it's glass, but you just cannot see through it either.
I squint harder. What do I have to do to activate it?
You simply have a thought that you would like to see yourself as you will become.
Yes. I do that.
Okay? You feel the shift, and you feel and you see now from afar, a squint in the very distance in the mirror, as though the mirror is showing something quite far away. You see yourself coming towards you. Green, a verdant, char. And you can see it come closer and closer as its face, your face, is simply there, as you would see yourself in the mirror.
As a child?
As a slightly older looking version of you,
Okay.
simply looking at you.
And just to refresh my memory, I have to ask a question about the future.
Well, this thing that's in this mirror is from whatever future is held. And so you can converse with this thing if you so choose and ask it like a question.
How do I get my memory back?
A reply in your mind, from in your voice, but you don't think it. It is sent to you. You must go with him. You must open your mind And he must overtake yours. He must use you. You must be his vessel. I have done this. He will use you. He will take you, and your mind will open. But what you see, you will not like. Obradin must mold and use the spell that he has created in your time. And he must use it on you. And then the image disappears.
Did it work?
Did it give you a straight answer? I bet it didn't.
Gunnar, did it work?
I think so.
Can I try?
I think maybe we need to give Gunnar a moment to think about this.
As you take a moment, we are all going to take a moment and go on our 10-minute break.
Yeah.
We are all going to go and spend, it's 8:30, what time is that? 8:37. At 8:48 we'll come back.
8:40.
Thanks guys, stick around and we'll see if anyone else wants to use this thing. Thanks very much for coming in, and we'll be here soon. Bye. Aha. And we're back. Welcome back, everybody.
Yes, hello, it's just me.
It's just Barclay this time.
Hey.
Oh, we're live. We're live.
Hey.
Hi. This program is proudly.
Everyone else died.
I know, right? No, it's just
Hey,
a
hey,
one shot.
hey,
It's just,
hey!
it's just
Jeez, that would've been
they're
real
all
loud.
in different places. I swear.
I'm in a different place.
Are you? Welcome.
Hydrate. If you did you get a drink?
I did get a drink.
Hydrate.
Thankfully.
You have 2 hydrates to catch up on.
Thank you so much.
That's alright.
I am hydrating twice.
Someone's gonna redeem like 5.
What? What do you mean? We PPK. I don't know what that means.
What happened?
Partial body kill.
Am I redeeming a number of times? By the way, great drawing
Oh
on
yeah!
Oh yeah.
Well done.
That was so cool.
I love that. I love it.
with a
I
mouse.
especially like the me chewing on my fingernails. That's my favorite part because I do that when I'm anxious. So all the time.
We have a new sponsor. This program is proudly brought to you by Clearasil. Without Clearasil, I would not been on stream because I would have had blotches all over my face. So thank you.
Love that for us.
No, that was just
That's
wait.
like Kaylee flexing his acting skills.
Wait.
lol.
Speaking of acting skills, anyone seen the new U-Foods commercial?
Are you in it?
Oh,
No,
yes.
I'm not in it. There is a friend of ours
friend of
by the
ours.
name of Chris.
Oh really?
Not this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more talented.
You see any beef ragu ads? That is.
I saw a really
That's
funny U-Foods, not ad, like commercial ad. Like it was just like a,
DM's U-Foods.
like a, what is it called? Just like a publication ad in some kind of like magazine, and the it just had a picture of a young guy and he was sitting on his like front steps, and his caption was, "I just like not having to think."
Who doesn't?
Nice.
I love this guy. This guy's amazing.
Gen Y sums it up.
I say that about HelloFresh all the time. Anyway,
Right. I like it. Shall we?
yes.
Right. So, bringing it back in, you have taken the small pocket mirror.
Oh, did he give it to me?
Did you give it to Amara?
Yeah.
Yes, you do have it. You are all still in front of Gerinthas, the storm giant. The trident tucked away in Rook's bag. What are you doing?
I just before Amara looks in the mirror and asks her future self as to what's going on.
I wasn't gonna ask about you, don't worry.
Cute.
We can have a future. Anyway, I point a prod at the tentacle. So you don't want this little this thing from your friend.
It's she sort of looks at it.
It could be a trophy, you know. I mean, come on. I mean, he had you kind of detained, you know, limited your power. You could wear it around your neck. It could look good.
Thank you, but
And it goes with the sea theme around here as well. It's a tentacle.
it does. I will take it. It's our chemical property.